has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seed, the broken, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up should do be. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the Put It With the Golf guru, Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a Thirsty Thursday, a double shot with Morency from British Columbia this very hour. And then in the second hour, the Las Vegas golfer, Brady Cannon himself with Carver High talking live. And there could be potential other surprises that could pop up in the final hour. I've been forced to keep my mouth shut at this point about it, at gunpoint. I just wanted to say that. We have afternoon day ball, plenty of baseball going on, Carver High, including my Buccos at PNC getting thrashed by the Cubs.
Yeah, unfortunately here on a Thursday afternoon for the Buccos, the Cubs just added a 3 spot in the top of the 9th inning. It wasn't growing great even before that. 8-3, Cubs lead the Pirates. Last licks for them. Of course, you had some hope today because it was a Paul Skeens day out at PNC, but he did something for the first time in his career, giving up 3 homers in a start. And he did that earlier as he gave up Swanson, Tucker, and Suzuki all homered off of Skeens, all of them in the 5th inning as well. So 8-3, Cubs on the doorstep of finishing off the Pirates this afternoon. They are in a rain delay in Cincinnati. They've been waiting a while, too. We'll see if they ever get back out there. The Cardinals and the Reds, it's 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th for Cincy, but they've been waiting for a little while. The Diamondbacks have a 2-1 lead on the Mets. Soto just homered for the Mets to get that run, so we'll see if they can score. Zach Gallen of Milk pitching good today for the Snakes. The Royals got a homer earlier from Bobby Witt Jr. They now lead 7-2 over the Rays, top of the 7th in Tampa. They just put the tarp on the field in Cleveland, top of the 7th, 2-0 Guardians against the Twins. So some rainy spots we have in the afternoon. White Sox up 1-0 on the Brewers, and the A's have already jumped out 1-0 on the Rangers in Arlington. Lots of afternoon games today.
Yeah, I guess raining all over Ohio. And then the Skeens thing, walked 4, gives up 3 home runs. His ERA skyrockets today. And I guess they'll stop trying to shove the Cy Young down our throats for Paul Skeens temporarily, because this is about the second time he's got lit up this year already. So he was like 3-2. He looked great against the Dodgers. He's been looking good like every other start. So he looked good against LA, and today he looked like crap and got jacked around at PNC. Certainly a concern about him. The way he's pitching on and off. He has not been consistent at all. In fact, he's been wildly inconsistent.
Wildly inconsistent would definitely be that. And it's never good. He usually does, giving up bombs like that, giving up 3 homers in an inning. That's not something you normally would see from Paul Skeens.
Didn't he, in his first start ever, give up a home run in the, first inning? And then he, the remainder of the season, he was brilliant. He got tagged in the first game, and I could have sworn it was a Cub even in that game. But I remember after that, he was just brilliant. He started the All-Star game. He was, everyone's darling. He was the story and, rookie of the year, story of the year in baseball. And then this year, they started putting him on the cover of all these magazines and making it in video games and everything else. and now he's a celebrity. And once you get that fame and fortune, baseball takes a back seat as far as I'm concerned, and now you're getting the results. Now you're seeing what happens when guys spend all day doing photo shoots.
That first start last year was against the Cubs. He went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. He did allow a homer in that game. That was last year. First start.
I think it was
in that,
like
start.
Yeah, I remember his first start because I watched it like it was the greatest thing ever to see him pitch. And I remember watching it with my son. And here he is again against the Cubs, giving up home runs, 3 of them. He's never given up 3 in a game.
Nope. First time he's done that. Almost 1 year ago, by the way. May 11th of last year was the Skeens debut. So almost a full year in the majors for him. All right, so we have all of the baseball that we will continue to watch. Plenty of afternoon action that is going on. We have the golf going on, too, down at TPC Craig Ranch there in Texas, where the immortal Rico Hoey. Rico Hoey, 8 under.
Who's a Hoey?
8 under for Rico today. He's in the lead. Jaeger bombs, Camp Champ, Campos, Hughes. This Cam's guy, Philip Screwdriver, he's at 6 under. Molinak, Thorbjornsen. So lots of guys there. I know Scheffler just went out in the afternoon, so I'm sure he'll be up there with those guys by the end of the day. Him and Spieth and a few others. They're only 5 or 6 holes in, but quite the leaderboard.
One of you guys had Valikami. I saw one of you guys bet on him.
Yeah. Stewie had Valimaki to win. I played him first round leader, so he's going to come up short there. But slamming Sammy Valimaki, not a bad first round for him at 5 under, sitting at T9 right now for that. All right, so we'll do, that's all the live stuff going on. We've got lots of playoff action that we will discuss as well. NBA and Stanley Cup from last night and tonight. We have more games to get to. Of course, we'll spend a lot of time later on in the first hour, Scotty, talking about the destructive end of the Lakers season. I mean, that was a tough way to go.
What a shame.
How do you lose a game where the other team misses like 43s? I mean, I think the T-Wolves missed like 43s in the game, and yet they still couldn't beat them.
I'll tell you why. Because
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, because that guy had 24 rebounds. Like, who cares how many shots you miss if the Lakers never got a rebound in a game? The guy dominated. He had 9 on one side offensively, 15 the other. He had 27 points. That was the best game of his life. In fact, I don't think it's ever happened before in NBA history that a guy, he shot 80% because every shot was a dunk. He had 27 last night and just a hell of a performance. He was like me, 10 of 11 from the floor last night, cover high. Little 2010 burger. 2010 burger. I
did see you did put one photo up of you. It looked like you were laying one in right under the hoop. You were putting one right in under there. So
everyone made fun of me on there for my the leaping off of the floor, and I actually felt in that moment that I was flying, but everyone else made fun of my vertical.
There's no way to tell from a still if you're going up and there was more room for you to go up. You know, it's a still photo.
But I was 10 of 11 last night from the floor, so what do I care about anything else? Our top guy went down with an ankle, and in comes the 6th man, Uncle Futrelli, to play 35 minutes straight. I almost had a stroke, but we got it done. But look, I just think I'm not surprised at all that the Timberwolves won. I picked the Timberwolves, so did you, to beat the Lakers. We never thought the Lakers were beating that Minnesota team. And now you're going to see the next level in the second round who's going to have problems with them. Everyone.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play, and players win.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
If you're going to trade Durant, right, it means things are getting weird anyway. Teams are going to, before they go for Durant, they're going to go for Devin Booker. That's just the reality of it.
You get rid of Durant, or do you do the crazy one? Because you're so far out of the West, you get rid of Booker because D-Book will bring you far more in a return.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Coach Young also had the T-Wolves, and even though he was rooting for the Lakers because he does that show with the Kevin Walsh, and he's a huge LeBron knobber, so the two of them together have joined forces to root for LeBron on a daily basis together, like your grandparents walking in the park. And then we were over here like men drinking shots and betting on the T-Wolves while they were walking in the park. All those dudes he hangs out with that don't play ball. You know what I mean? Sports Rage is on at 10 East every night on our TV and radio outlets. And you get him here a double shot every day from Vancouver. What did you think of them losing and the whole drama of Luka going down? He looked like he tore his oblique or his back, and then he went to the locker room. He came back out like Willis Reed, and it didn't matter. They couldn't stop the T-Wolves.
Yeah, what a night last night for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We cashed a ticket. I can't pat myself on the back too much because I also took the Golden State Warriors on the money line last night. But we cashed a nice plus 210 with the T-Wolves. How about Rudy Gobert? I mean, probably the most criticized player. After Ben Simmons, I'd say Rudy Gobert is the most criticized player in the NBA, and especially by his own peers as well. It's one thing, like if a bunch of know-nothing people, call you out, and you're not really going to care if you're an athlete. But when your own peers and people in the league kind of disrespect you often, that was a big-time performance. Scott, the T-Wolves are a dangerous team, man. But as far as the Lakers are concerned, that's, they're not very good. I mean, let's just call it out for what it is as far as their depth is concerned. In the playoffs, you can win games with stars. Just point blank, right? You can win games with stars in the regular season. But when you get to the playoffs, you need to have 5 guys, 7 guys, 9 guys, right? You need to have a little bit of depth. You can't just rely on 2 players. And that's the Lakers. So regular season, you're going to win because it's a star-driven league. We get into the playoffs, it's a different situation. But I'm not just saying this now, Scott. Luka's I'm not going to say I'm an anti-Luka guy, but I've always seen what the Mavericks saw, bro. I'm telling you for years. Like, he's driven me crazy with the complaining to the refs constantly. The fake half injuries, the constant fake smiles during the games. Bro, we're losing a playoff game. It's not funny. Oh, fake smile. Ref. This is all business, Luka. Like, I get it. They made it to the finals, so I can't say, you can't win. I mean, a guy made it to the NBA finals before, but to me, this guy's like a quarterback, bro. He's going to throw interceptions, and he's going to laugh about it after. And, you just sort of have to, the quarterback that's smiling after the interception, you sort of have to deal with it. Defensively, he gets lit up all the time. And it's like, they got to get pieces around them. Yeah, but it's hard when two guys make as much money as you do. And then you got to bring people in to be those role players. They were kind of exposed last night. But as far as the T-Wolves, Scott, this is a good basketball team. I mean, remember you and I talked. I vividly remember the day the trade happened, Scott. And I said, I don't like judging trades until we see how it all plays out. But I liked the T-Wolves that they got the depth out of the deal. The Knicks got Karl Anthony Towns. The T-Wolves got two players, right? And you see Randall didn't have the greatest regular season, but really stepped up against the Lakers. Anthony Edwards, I think it's a little rush, Scott. He's the face of the league. He's going to be the face of the league and all this type of stuff. I think Wembanyama is going to be the face of the league. But with that being stated, he's a badass. Conley's been around forever. Randall's been in the league a long time. Gobert. They're not a young team. I mean, this is a team full of vets, and they got ballers on that team. They can ball Minnesota. Dangerous basketball team, Scott.
There's no doubt that they're deeper and more dangerous. Now, look, there's no one that I'm the mirror image of you with the whiny crybaby bitch that he is, Luka. He has cried more than any player in the NBA, hands down, tenfold. I mean, et cetera, infinity. This guy is belly to belly, complains the whole game. But,
he does give you 30 a game.
I mean, he's one of two guys to average 30 in the playoffs.
It's like, but he's gonna. It's a soft 32, though. I don't know if you know what I mean. Because it sort of adds up.
He has got the body, the size, and the chunk to hold guys off of his body on the dribble. He's a lot like Yager had that stick draw where and those hips, no one can get the puck from him. And this guy, when he's got the basketball, I've never seen a big guy that's that kind of chunky and heavy have that kind of handle, and then to be able to hit shots from anywhere and everywhere. I agree with you defensively, but I think his job as a point guard in the NBA, right now he's the best in the world with the ball in his hands.
But let me bring something up here, Scott.
That. And he's also the future of that franchise. It's not LeBron James. It's that guy for the next 10 years.
But they're not going to win.
There is to it.
They
need a
better
lot more than just him. You can't just have one star.
Yeah, but the thing, you got to compensate for him as well. So, yeah, he's going to score, but he has a lot of weaknesses. Let me just bring this up, Scott, and think about it in hindsight. Carlisle willingly left Dallas to go coach the Pacers. This was like years ago, right? Like when Mark Cuban was still owning the team.
Right.
Luka Doncic is like 23 years old at the time. And he goes, you know what? I'm out. Well, what was that about? You know what I mean? Why would he go choose the Pacers? Now the Mavericks.
I think he's done better there than he did in Dallas.
But finally now you saw in Dallas as well. I claimed at the time, I'm on record, I didn't think it was insanity to trade Luka Doncic if you were the Dallas Mavericks. Like, my deal was it was insanity to trade him for Anthony Davis, right? You can't trade him for a player. AD on paper is a great player. Fine. I like Anthony Davis. Guy's always hurt. You know what I mean? It's fair, unfair, cold, hot, whatever the hell you want to say.
Business decision for a franchise that he carried on his shoulders, Doncic. The fans in Dallas only wanted to watch him and Kyrie. That's it.
The fans won't care about Luka Doncic if the Mavericks win a championship next year without him.
Well, they're going to have to forget about him. He's gone. So it's like your wife. In life, you get divorced and she's gone. What are you going to do? Sit around and cry about it? You got to move on.
He's popular, but it's hard to win.
He's the most popular player they've ever had, or none.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did Ames. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
So we're talking to Morency, and I don't want to keep talking about Luka because I don't blame him for that loss or that series. There's a lot of things that I could talk about of why they lost, and most of it was because of Minnesota, not because of anything LA didn't do.
I'll tell you what, the Lakers
Reeves was a ghost.
The Lakers won one more playoff game than the Dallas Mavericks did this year. Just saying. And the Mavericks didn't have anybody.
But when they did have him, they went to the finals. They went to the finals with Kyrie and
yeah,
him.
they
and
went to the finals once, Scott. Teams go to the finals and lose and don't get back. Were they going to the finals this year, the Dallas Mavericks with Luka?
No. Well, who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
They weren't.
Who knows?
They weren't.
That's like saying tomorrow's going to be sunny too, and the next day is going to rain. I have no clue. I'm like, you don't know if they were going to go back. If they
were fighting to play the play-in tournament. Like with Luka. Like it wasn't like they were sailing before. Like this year. They weren't going to win.
I think they dismembered because of injuries. Like all their bigs went down. Every single guy on that team got injured. And
oh no, I don't dispute that. If they were healthy, they would have been good.
When they were healthy last year, you saw what they were capable of. And then this guy thinks that they can't win a title with him, so they got rid of him. It's as simple as that. I don't believe for 1 minute people don't want to play for the Lakers. So you better hope they don't get Giannis Antetokounmpo out there playing with him. And I don't know how much longer LeBron James is going to play, but I want to talk about hockey playoffs with you. There's 2 NBA games tonight. And the Piston-Knick game is enormous, and so is the Denver Clippers. So who do you like in those games? And then we'll hit these hockey games.
Well, like and love from a betting perspective are two different things. I think, you know what? I think the Pistons are going to win again tonight, but the game is a complete toss-up. This series has been a complete toss-up. We see how close these games are. So it's not like I'm, loading up on the Detroit Pistons or anything from a betting perspective tonight. I already cashed my ticket. I like the Pistons plus 2.5 games in the series, so I win my bet, but I do lean with the Pistons tonight. And as far as the Clippers, Scott, listen, I picked the Clippers to win the series. I bet them to win the series, so they better win tonight. I'm losing confidence in this team. And they're playing they're not playing poorly either. So I should say this. It's not like they're playing poorly. They're getting murdered by the 3-ball, Scott. They're killing, in the paint. It's not like Jokic is owning them or anything like that. Jamal Murray pops off, right? Or Gordon with the dunk at the end of the game. It's almost like the carpet gets pulled out, like at the last second. Like it's like Charlie and Lucy Brown in this series, where like, how did we lose? And the Clippers lose again.
Why is that number so big tonight? It's 6.
Dude, I know. It's insane, isn't it? I don't want to lay it, but they probably blow them out.
I think it's because they're going to do it again to them and force a Game 7, and then they're going to go lose in Denver. Because I'll tell you what, you say that Luka's not killing him. I mean, he has a triple-double every night.
Well, he wakes up with a triple-double, this guy. But
I know, but it's so easy for him to have a triple-double. He does whatever he wants to the Clippers. That's why they won't win a Game 7 there.
The other guys are why they're winning. They're taking the ball out of Jokic's hands, and the other guys are making plays. Like Westbrook buried all the threes
in their
earlier.
hands.
Well, that's what they're playing right now. They're a hot team. Listen, they're tough to beat, the Denver Nuggets. And they're the Clippers are overrated in this series. Just point blank. Like, the Clippers are overrated. The Clippers were 2-point road favorites in the last game, right? Like, the Clippers are favored all the time against Denver. And let's just remember, the Denver Nuggets won the championship a couple of years ago, and they're missing a couple of role players from that team, but they still have a lot of the core guys. So they've actually won before. The Clippers have never been.
Caldwell Pope and Brown. I thought they were better with those guys. That's why they won that title. Let me ask you this quickly.
A little bit of depth they're missing. But I remember I told you, Scott,
tonight.
The day that Malone got fired and everybody was like, oh, they're crazy, they're dumb and all this. I said, they'll be better without him. They didn't like him. And here we are right now. I'm just,
all right,
just
so Toronto, Ottawa. Toronto's up 3-2. Vegas up 3-2 at Minnesota. Dallas up 3-2 at Colorado. And Edmonton at home up 3-2 on LA. I got 30 seconds. What do you think happens?
Toronto Maple Leafs win tonight. They're going to win on the road tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs win. This will be one of my bigger bets. Leafs plus 100. Get it done. Minnesota and Vegas is one of these toss-up games, but I'll lean with the Minnesota Wild to send this thing to 7 at plus 140. The Avs and Stars, Scott, this is just like the Clippers and the Nuggets. I don't trust the Avalanche, man, laying minus 200. Like, I wouldn't bet that. So it's Dallas or pass for me at plus 165. And this might be like a kamikaze mission, Scott, but give me the LA Kings tonight plus 150.
I can't do it. The Oilers are going to win again and eliminate the Kings. All right, Morency, have a good show, buddy.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull up injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Pawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did Ames. You did Dr. J Dames.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
the T-Wolves got it done. 103-96 at the Crypt in Lipstick City last night to finish off the LA Lakers and all their fandom and all their attention and all their media hype and all their, doing network shows right there in the parking lot year round. It's all Lakers all day, every day. And there's nothing better than watching them go kaput. Off to Cabo.
Well,
I don't even know if they get a room in Cabo. They stunk so bad.
They certainly did. They go down in 5 at home on their own court, 103-96. Rudy Gobert was the guy. I mean, let's face it, 27 points, 24 boards. He was the first player with 25-plus, 20-plus boards and 80% or more from the floor in a series-clinching victory in NBA playoff history. The only guy who's ever done that. He was a force down low all night for Minnesota. It was close late. The Lakers got it to within 3, just over a minute to go. But then Mike Conley with this dagger 3 in the corner, and they were never close again on TNT.
Edwards, 5 of 19. Cuts, drives, feed, Conley, 3. Good! Big hit. They had missed 18 in a row until that hit by Mike Conley.
I was actually talking about Randall yesterday on the show, right? And I was like, I thought he had a really good game. And I said to you that he's so ripped and so strong and so big and can back down anyone. He can literally bang with LeBron James. And not a lot of guys can do that or say that. And I thought he showed up and showed out. I thought he had a really strong game. And he's kind of he even called himself like, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. It's Ant's show, but if you need me, I'm right here. And he can hit from anywhere. We've seen it here in New York when he played for the Knicks. I just thought Randall was fantastic. They have so many players. And I think really when you look at it, the players that the Lakers are sending out there, these Hachimuras and these Finney Smiths and these guys, Reeves, listen, I don't deny that Austin Reeves has some games and has some, talent and offensive show-off nights. I won't deny that he has some games and can really fill it up. But I told you, going into this series, he won't do anything in this series. It's playoff time. They're not going to let some white boy do anything to him in this time of year. It's not happening. He didn't do anything ever in one game, not even in one game. So I thought the Lakers were rolling bums out, just bums. And if you ask me, they got to get rid of all of them. They really do. And I'll tell you another thing. This thing with LeBron, he's got them by the stones. It's his option. And he's 40. He'll be 41. And he just keeps playing. And look, I don't deny that he's brilliant. I don't deny how good he is. But at some level, I'm like, all right, enough already. Just call it a day. Can we, or whatever, because are we going to, it's going to be just you and Luka again? Is that what it's going to be? Because let me tell you something. Since 20, when they won it in a bubble in Florida, that phony-ass crown they won, he hasn't done anything. All he does is lose. So you can talk all you want about how great he is. That's fine, because he is great. Michael Jordan never lost. That's the end of subject. Period.
He never lost. That's for sure. I'm gonna get to all the Laker destruction in a moment. We gotta give the winners their due first before we get to all the misery that the Lakers are gonna have now that they're not playing any more games. Randall did have 23. I thought Randall made some, like you said, huge buckets in the fourth quarter that Randall had during that stretch for the Timberwolves. Here's Ant Edwards. By the way, his last 3 series wins: Luka, LeBron, Joker, Murray, KD, and Booker. The last 3 that Anthony Edwards has taken down in the NBA playoffs. Here he is. He was loving the win last night after the game.
What makes it feel even better is that they said Lakers in 5 and the Wolves won in 5. So I think that makes it feel 10 times better. That's like my only answer.
So he was literally walking around the arena after the game, humiliating people and loving life and soaking it all in and knowing that no one could touch him because he was, covered in security dudes, and no one could get near him or do anything to him. And he was just walking around laughing at people. And but no one would say anything to him because they know how much he kicked their ass. So they were all sucking up to him. Like they were all his best friends. You know, where I'm from, some guy does that and walks around our stadium in Pittsburgh after you beat us in a Super Bowl like title game. I'll never forget, like going to see the Chargers beat the Steelers in a title game, or the Broncos beat the Steelers in a title game in Pittsburgh. If one of those players would have walked outside and did that, he would have got his ass beat. He would have been attacked like dogs. Would have been attacked. But in LA, they're all phony candy ass. You should have seen him sucking up to this guy last night. Did you see him? Telling him how great he is? Like, where I'm from, they'd kill him. Someone would literally take him hostage.
He was walking around. First, he was like in the tunnels underneath the crypto, talking a lot of smack. Then he went out in the street there, outside of it, right out on there, and he started walking
LA
around.
Live. He was walking around.
He was giving everybody the business. My town for last night, Anthony Edwards. He was all over the place. They couldn't
solve him. He's too good.
Too good. And he didn't play well last night either. He had a bad game, Anthony Edwards. He didn't do anything outstanding offensively in that game, and yet they still were able to cross the line. Here is head coach Chris Finch. Of course, a lot more work for the T-Wolves to do, but they did something actually before I play him that they've never done in franchise history. They had never won a playoff series in back-to-back years. In franchise history. This is the first time that they have done that. This group has. Here's Finch.
Well, they're good.
We're not satisfied. We got a long way to go. We'll regroup, but we were certainly going to celebrate this because this team took a lot of through the season, and that was set against the backdrop of a really good run last year. But, every team is different, and every team has to come together, and every team has to go through pain, and every team has to figure it out. And this team figured it out.
You know what's even crazier? Alex Rodriguez owns them.
Yeah.
How crazy
the owner.
He's the owner.
He was going nuts last night out there. He was having a good time.
I was going nuts. I like the T-Wolves, and I was on them, and I like watching them play. They were this tough last year, right? Like they went on a run last year. They're a good team. They're fun to watch. They ball out. I mean, they have all the pieces. They have all these different guys that contribute every night, or can contribute every night, or that show up every night. Like all of them show up, and you just don't know who's going to be the one that's going to carry them, or two or three different guys.
Indeed. All right, now let's get to all of the Laker destruction. So I'll save LeBron for after the break. I will tell you, here's the ledger for him since he's been a Laker. 19, missed the playoffs. 20, they won the title that was in the bubble. 21, eliminated first round. 22, missed the playoffs. 23, swept in the Western Conference Finals. And then 24 and 25, the last 2 years, eliminated in the first round. So other than the title, very little to show for his Laker career, other than the title.
Listen, I'll give you credit that you won that bubblegum title in the face mask tournament with no fans and fake cutout cardboard people in the stands. That was, you know what that was? That was open run down at the YMCA. That's what that was. That was down at the rec hall, down at the Jewish Center. That's pickup ball at its best. That was the one. Like, people don't even consider that real. Do they really? Like, do you, Mike? Do you consider that a title? That bubble year? That's the phoniest crown I ever seen in my life. The NBA Cup's better.
Yeah, it's got some warts to it. It does. Now they like telling you it was the hardest because they were stuck in that hotel.
It was like they won the Drew League in LA. Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7. before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, so what's LeBron saying, if anything?
Yeah, let's get a couple from him, of course, as it was a sad night for all the Lakers. We'll start with this. The Lakers played with no center, basically, since they got Luka. You know, at some points they did, but especially in this playoff series.
Right.
I mean, that Jackson Hayes, he was like chained to the bench. I mean, they weren't letting anybody come in with any kind of size whatsoever.
He stinks
Here was LeBron.
anyway.
He does stink, but at least he'd be a big body out there. Here is LeBron.
No, not really. Not really when you're a toothpick and people push you around.
Well, here's LeBron on the Lakers playing without a center since they got Luka.
LeBron, basically from mid-January on, right when AD got injured, you guys started playing a lot of centerless basketball, and that required a lot from you and Doe and Rui and then Vando once he got back. Just from a physical, taxing standpoint, how tough was that for the last 3.5 months to play that style, and do you feel like that caught up at all in this series?
No comment. I never say that because my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week. So I got no comment.
There you go.
I put that uniform on every night. I gave everything I had, and
that's it.
And that's all that matters.
You got that right, brother. Now listen, here's the other thing. Let's be clear. He loves the Lakers and Jeannie Buss and Pelinka and all these guys. He's as Hollywood as the sun is. I mean, honestly, he is all about being a Laker. I think of, believe me, I think of all his stops, that was, this is the one that I think he likes the best, even though he won in Cleveland, even though he won 2 in Miami. I think he likes LA the best because his whole life, his production company, all the money he makes, he's making movies, documentaries. He was just playing for the Lakers, 17 championships. He's got a ring with the Lakers, and he's not going to say anything bad about them. And I don't think he's mad that they got Luka for AD. That's his boy, AD, no doubt. But you don't get Luka for a bag of potato chips. They gave up a guy that's incredible when he plays, and you got a guy that's incredible, and he usually plays. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Luka plays a lot more than Davis does. And I know he got banged up last night, but he still played. He kept playing. And if that were Davis, he would have been out of the game. The minute he got hurt with his back, he would have been out of the game. Every time that guy has a scratch, he leaves the game. And he's done for the night. When is the last time you saw that guy gets poked in the eyes, done for the night? If he gets hit in the back, he's done for the night. If he gets injured, he's out for weeks on end, months. So I don't want to hear it. LeBron James leads the life of Riley. Listening to that guy, and I don't think he was complaining. Listening to that guy complain should be illegal. I don't want to hear it. If you complain and you're him, you should have to go to like hard labor camp. Honestly, the guy's got the life of Riley. I don't want to. Is anything worse than listening to these prima donnas crying and bitching? Like, are you kidding me? What doesn't this guy have? Honestly.
It is amazing, that's for sure. Of course, the question once the season ends also goes to, how much longer are we going to keep doing this? We're going to be back next year? Is this going to keep going on? Here he is.
What type of
out of that too.
thoughts does that give you about your end game? And how many more years will we see you play?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Something I sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group, and kind of just talk through it and see what happens, and then just have a conversation with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer to that right now, to be honest. So we'll see.
Listen, he can obviously still play. He is a great player, but I think he's going to have a hard, long look at, do I want to do this anymore? It's a pain in my ass. Because you know what? He could stop playing. Now, remember this. This is real simple. Michael Jordan stopped playing and then came back a few times, and it was basically a disaster. But then when he finally really stopped playing, he made $5 billion. Like Magic Johnson stopped playing. And then he made $500 billion. LeBron James could stop playing tomorrow, and he's going to make $200 trillion after he stops playing. Playing is a pain in the ass every night, every day. Buses and planes and hotels, even though it's all 4 seasons and 5-star, after 23 years, whatever, it is a pain in the ass. Trust me, I did it 1 year. I've actually done it 3 or 4 years. I did it with the Steelers. I did it with Indiana, 5 years there. So 8 years, did it a year with the Thrashers. I wanted to kill myself. Like it was jokingly, I say that. It was toxic. Living in a bag, in a hotel, every day of your life for years on end sucks. I don't care who you are. Because I was with all these fancy teams too, living in nice, fancy 5-star hotels and eating nice food. It still sucks. You're lonely. You're miserable. You're talking on the phone with your family. It's the worst. I'm telling you, after 23 years, you want to jump off a bridge.
Well, there's 2 things I'll say to this. One, I think he at minimum is playing again next year because I don't believe he's going to go without the big
farewell tour.
The big farewell tour. He's way too big of an egomaniac to not leave without that.
He'll make a movie out of it. His final season will be a movie.
I saw this mentioned today. The other son, Bryce, who's going to go to Arizona.
Oh, here we go.
He's eligible to be in the draft next year, in the 2026 draft, and that he might hang on for 2 more years so he could try play with both the sons in the NBA. Now, he's still good enough that I think he could get 2 more years. Maybe not at this peak level, but I think he wouldn't be embarrassing himself 2 years from now if he stayed in the league. But like you said, do you really want to keep doing it? You've done everything. Do you really want to keep doing it? Playing with both his sons maybe would.
I'm not going to be surprised at all if he walks away. Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true. in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
It's so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, so what did Luka have to say about everything crashing and burning in LA at the end here?
Well, Luka, of course, he could barely even stand up from the chair when he was done talking to the media last night. I guess his back was in such bad shape. But here he is, how he felt about his time as a Laker here for the first time this season.
August 2nd, you're extension eligible. Have you thought at all about your future in the summer?
I didn't think it yet. I've been focused on basketball, so obviously this is the time, now to think about everything.
Luka, slightly along those lines, how was your time as a Laker? Big picture, after kind of shaking off the shock, or as much of it as you were able to shake off from the trade, what did you think about your time here, and can you see some sort of long-term future for yourself in this city and this organization?
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. The way the fans accept me, it's been amazing. The way the community accepted me has been amazing. So I'm really glad that I'm here. I had a great couple months. Obviously trying to learn about everything, about the city, about the team. So just trying to process everything.
Listen, this guy's not going anywhere. They're going to give him all the money in the world. He's going to play for the Lakers for at least 10 years. He's not going anywhere.
He's not leaving. And the other thing is, you're asking him this stuff 17 minutes after he just lost. I mean, that's why, after last night's game, same thing with LeBron asking about what he's going to do. Keep it to getting your ass beat by the Timberwolves. They usually do, the exit interviews this week. Give the guys a couple days. Then you can ask them the big picture nonsense about your time as a Laker, and are you going to turn down, $600 million from them on August 1st? Come on. He's not going to do that anyway. Let me quickly get these J.J. Redick in ones for you. Redick knows that he could be better. He had a rough day last night, before and after the game. This was after the game. Knows he could be better.
How would you evaluate your first season as head coach of this team?
I'll use my own thoughts to evaluate myself, and I'll use what my players say and what my coaching staff says to evaluate. But I know I can be better, and I know I will get better. I don't necessarily take any satisfaction from how the year went. That's not to say I'm not proud of what the group was able to do and how we were able to figure things out on the fly.
put ourselves in a position to have home court in the first round, but there's always ways to get better, and I can get a lot better.
Listen, I don't have a problem with the guy. I thought he did a good job as the Laker coach, and I think he's going to get better. I'll be honest with you. He reminds me a little bit of Spoelstra in the sense that Spoelstra came from the film room. This guy actually came from, performing at Duke to the highest level and then playing in the NBA forever, knocking down dagger threes. Guy could flat out shoot and play. I think this guy, Spoelstra, is a great coach, and I think he did it his way and on his own terms around good people. But I thought this guy stepped right into that job and I think he did a better job than all these guys that they fired in the last few years. But I will say this. I think he's still a massive D. He's been a massive D since he went to Duke. And when he played in the NBA, he was a D. He's still a D. The guy stands up and walks out on every single press conference he does. He doesn't respect anybody but himself. He's a real narcissist. This guy loves himself. You heard what he said even. He's like, I'll evaluate myself. Thanks so much.
Yeah, he did walk out in the pregame, which I'm sure everybody has seen by now when they asked him about the minutes from the game before. Now, there's a quote from this afternoon that's starting to circulate from him because him and Pelinka did their end of season meet with the media, right. The GM and the coach. So during it, Redick said that the Laker roster must, quote, get in championship shape. He didn't think that everyone was in the best shape. So now you know what everybody immediately assumes when he says that.
That's
because
Luka.
of the Luka trade. Now, he, of course, didn't name names. He just said a lot of guys need to be in better championship shape next year, and we're going to put him on a program. So he's already, the season ends not even 24 hours ago, and already we're talking about getting guys in
I don't care
shape.
what Luka Doncic weighs. They're still going to give him all the money in the world, even if he's tipping the scales. They are going to give him bags of money no matter what his body looks like. I get
is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.